Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today I just want to talk about three Doctor Who stories that I don't really talk about a lot. Because a lot of times some of the same ones come up. You guys know how I feel about Power of Kroll, God Complex, Midnight, but then you know the ones I love like City of Death and Genesis and all that. But I kind of wanted to talk about just three that I don't really bring up in conversation a whole lot. Just kind of give you my thoughts on those. And the first one we're going to talk about is the Faceless ones. I do own the animation of the Faceless ones. Faceless ones is good. I don't think it's like great or anything, but I think it's enjoyable. I think it might have worked better as a four-parter. But I know, especially, it's one of those, the more I watch it, I think the more I enjoy it. I liked it the first time I saw it, but thought it was just kind of for the Troughton era. But I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times now, and I do like it. I like that 2 of the episodes survive. Usually, if there are surviving episodes, I'll watch the surviving episodes. But it's one that, unlike Macroterra, where Macroterra, I prefer the color version and the black and white version equally. I think they're very different viewing experiences, and I like them both. In Faceless ones, I prefer the black and white version, but I like going back and watching the color version every now and then. And when I watch the color version, I do watch all 6 of them animated for consistency. Because it does, like Macroterra, it does give you a different viewing experience, seeing it in black and white and seeing it in color. I do prefer it in black and white. And when I watch the black and white version of Faceless ones, I do watch the surviving episodes 1 and 3. My main complaint is that the animation of the chameleons in their natural form, I don't like that their faces aren't quite as faceless as they should be. You can kind of see where the eyes are supposed to be. That's a little bothersome. Plus, the animation is not quite up to par with Macroterra. People don't move quite as fluidly. It's still good. Miles better than Fury from the Deep. But not quite as fine-tuned as Macroterra. I really love the way characters moved in Macroterra better than here. But Faceless one's a good story. I wish Ben and Polly's exit had been a little better, but it's better. Like, I'm glad their exit's at least better than like Dodo's or something. So it's a good story. I like what's going on. I like that it's at an airport. I like kind of the mystery surviving it. I think the guest cast do a good job. I find it an enjoyable watch. Especially, like I said, every time I see it, I appreciate it a little more. Next on the list is one I actually need to rewatch because it's too vague in my head, honestly, but it's Planet of Evil. I really like Planet of Evil. I think it's underrated. I think the main thing hurting Planet of Evil is just it's in Season 13, and Season 13 is such a phenomenal season. Arguably the best season Doctor Who's ever done. There's definitely an argument to be made for that. Planet of Evil, I really enjoy. I love the set design, especially for the jungle there. That looks phenomenal. I think Sarah Jane and Tom are just great together. Elizabeth Sladen and Tom, they're really good together in this one. I like the story about something coming after them on the ship. I like the effect of the creature. I hear it compared to Forbidden Planet a lot, which I've never watched Forbidden Planet, so I don't know, but that's what everybody tells me that kind of comes from. The way it does that kind of translucent creature with just the lines kind of showing its outline in a little detail, I think that looks really neat. I like the whole Jekyll Hyde thing going on with the one character and how frantic he's becoming as it gets worse and worse. Because, there's also been some Marvel comics out there where, Bruce Banner is pretty frantic because, it's also kind of got that Incredible Hulk thing going too. And even Jekyll, gets a little more frantic in that story as he tries to find a cure. So I like seeing him just slowly kind of losing it. I like on the ship when they accidentally make multiple of the creatures coming. I find Planet of Evil really good. I think it's a strong story for the season. I think it earns its place in Season 13. I feel like it's the most underrated story of Season 13. It's really, really good. I'm not saying it's in league with Seeds of Doom or Pyramids of Mars, but I'm saying it's very close, personally. And number 3 on the list is The Long Game from the modern Doctor Who series, Series 1 with the Ninth Doctor. I think this one is underrated. It does some stuff I like. One, I like having Simon Pegg in it. I like his character and his outfit he's in. One thing I don't like is the actual creature that's running things. I don't think that's realized well on screen, and that's actually probably the most disappointing thing of the episode is that little creature up there. I don't really care for it. I like the idea of what's going on there. I like the guest cast, especially the one girl that's helping them, who can Spike She does a really good job. One thing I really like about this episode is the events of this episode tie in directly with the two-part series finale. This is another example of the Doctor inadvertently causing more problems because he doesn't stay to clean up his mess. The Doctor has this happen actually quite a bit, where he inadvertently causes more problems because of his actions or not staying around to see what happens, the consequences of his actions. Much like in The Face of Evil, when it was the Fourth Doctor trying to help things in an adventure we don't see on screen, causes the events of what we see in Face of Evil to happen, with the face carved into the stone and the computer and all of that. Same thing here. You know, we have him solving everything in the long game and then leaving like he does, which causes what they call basically 100 years of hell, 100 years of nothing, which, you know, is how the Daleks get back in power in the finale. So I like this episode because it does show that the Doctor's not perfect. The Doctor has flaws. The Doctor doesn't have all of the answers, and the Doctor makes mistakes. And while he saves the day in the short run, he wins the battle, he loses the war for 100 years by making it worse. You know, he says it in the two-parter at the end, you know, I created this world, I did this. So I like that. I like seeing the fact the Doctor is not perfect, and the Doctor makes mistakes, and that he doesn't always have the answers, even if he thinks he always has the answers. The other reason I like The Longest Game is because we actually get something we don't see very often. We see a companion that doesn't work, a companion that fails, a failed companion in Adam, which I think is interesting because it's not the Doctor who decided to bring Adam along, it's a Rose, and the Doctor just, on your head then. So we see, it's neat because not anyone can be a companion. And it's easy to forget that. But, you know, the Doctor is actually very particular about who he takes as a companion a lot of times. And there is a reason for that. Not everybody is cut out to be a companion. Like how he wouldn't let Mickey go originally, and he's like, he's not invited. Or that girl, that other medical student in Smith and Jones, when it's like, no, not her. The one that was too scared. Not her. Because not everybody's suited for that. And we really see the perfect example right here in Adam. Someone who has a shot at being a companion and could have been a companion if he was, you know, better behaved and not quite so selfish. But because of his actions, you know, the Doctor drops him off and says, no, you know, basically you can't travel with me anymore. He even gives him a chance, you know, he gives Adam a chance to at least admit what he had done, and he doesn't. And the Doctor just blows up his answering machine and leaves him stuck like that. Yeah, he made a mistake kind of trying to not double cross, but he made the mistake of having to deal with Eccleston. Maybe if he'd had a lighter Doctor, it wouldn't have been as bad, but Eccleston's not the kind of Doctor to mess with like that. Eccleston doesn't play. But I love the idea of a failed companion, of a companion that just can't hack it. Yeah, I feel like, to me, I always think of Victoria like this, even though Victoria stays for like a season. You know, she kind of ended up with them because she didn't really have much of a choice, and you see that, especially in Fury from the Deep, where she's just burned out on it. She doesn't want to do it anymore. She's ready to stop. It wasn't for her. But Adam, I think, is the epitome of it. Just very quickly, he has flaws to his character that make him unsuitable for being a good companion. And seeing that play out and seeing how that ends for him and seeing how angry the Doctor is with him and that even the Rose won't defend him, she just, boop, you know, I really like that. That makes me like The Longest Game. I know there's a lot of people who don't care for that, but because of these things, seeing the Doctor's flaws, seeing a companion's flaw that make him a bad companion, I enjoy these kind of things, even if the actual story itself is kind of and plus it's got some good Eccleston moments in it. Yeah, take these off and we'll see how friendly I am, or whatever it is he says. I like that. So that's just kind of 3 stories I don't think I really talk about much that I just kind of wanted to go over with you and see what you think. So what do you think of the 3 stories I talked about, and what do you think of my reasoning behind the 3 stories, especially The Longest Game? I'd like to know what you think of my thoughts on that. So comment down below and let me know what you think. I also have 2 polls going right now on my Patreon that are open to the public. Anyone can vote in them. One is a runoff on which classic Doctor I will be doing a major review on. It's between the 2nd, 6th, and 7th Doctors. And the other one is which modern Doctor I will be doing a big review on, and that's also between the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, War Doctor and Fugitive Doctor, so vote in those as well. There's a link to that, to my Patreon in the comments down below, or not in the comments, but in the description down below, down in the description below. So check that out if you have a free moment. Also, if you would like to become one of my patrons, You can do that. There are different tiers there. The entry level tier is only $2 a month if you like me and support what I do and want to see more on what I do and kind of help steer the direction of the channel. Most importantly, though, stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.